Walking is one of the most common health tips people hear, but because it sounds so simple, most people assume it cannot really change much. To many people, walking feels like something light, something you do when you do not have time for real exercise, something optional. But science has been quietly telling a very different story. In recent years, researchers have begun looking much more closely at what actually happens inside the human body during regular walking. What they discovered surprised even many health experts. A consistent walking habit does far more than just burn a few calories. It can influence how your brain functions, how your body handles sugar in the bloodstream, how your stress response is regulated, and even how energy is produced inside your cells. In other words, walking is not just movement, it is a biological signal. And here is the part that surprises many people. Millions of people already walk every day and still miss most of these benefits. Not because walking does not work, but because the body only adapts when a behavior becomes a clear and repeated signal. When movement is inconsistent or unintentional, the body often treats it as background noise instead of something worth adapting to. Once walking becomes regular and intentional, something interesting begins to happen. Your muscles start using glucose more efficiently. Your nervous system becomes calmer. Blood flow to the brain improves. Energy production inside your cells becomes more stable. Over time, these small internal changes begin to add up. That is why walking is often described by scientists as foundational movement. It is one of the most natural activities the human body understands. In this video, we are going to explore what actually happens inside your body when walking becomes a real habit. Not exaggerated fitness promises, not complicated medical language. Just clear explanations of the science behind why this simple habit can influence your brain, your metabolism, your heart, and even the way you age. And by the end of this video, you may start to see walking in a completely different way. One of the first systems that responds to regular walking is your blood sugar control. Every time you eat, carbohydrates are broken down into glucose that enters your bloodstream. Your body then releases insulin, a hormone that helps move that sugar from the blood into your cells where it can be used as energy. The problem is that many people today develop a condition called insulin resistance. When this happens, the body struggles to move sugar out of the bloodstream efficiently. Blood sugar levels stay elevated for longer periods of time, which can lead to fatigue cravings, weight gain, and eventually metabolic disease. Walking helps correct this in a surprisingly direct way. When your muscles contract during walking, they begin pulling glucose out of the bloodstream to use as fuel. What makes this interesting is that this process requires very little insulin. In other words, simply moving your body allows your muscles to help regulate blood sugar naturally. Even short walks after meals can significantly reduce glucose spikes and help your body handle food more efficiently. But the benefits of walking go far beyond metabolism. Walking also has a powerful effect on your emotional balance. Movement stimulates the release of several important brain chemicals, including serotonin and endorphins. These chemicals are strongly associated with feelings of calm stability and overall well-being. At the same time, walking helps reduce levels of stress hormones that accumulate during long periods of sitting pressure or mental overload. This is why many people notice that their mood shifts after a walk. Problems may still exist, but the body is no longer locked in the same tense chemical state. The nervous system begins to relax, breathing becomes deeper, and the mind often feels clearer and more balanced. Another major system that benefits from walking is the heart. Many people believe that only intense workouts strengthen the cardiovascular system, but large long-term studies have shown something interesting. When the total amount of energy used is similar, walking can provide heart health benefits comparable to running. Regular walking helps lower blood pressure, improve circulation, and support healthier cholesterol levels. Unlike very intense exercise, walking places far less stress on the joints and does not cause large spikes in stress hormones. This makes it one of the most sustainable ways to strengthen the heart over time. And when a habit is sustainable, people are far more likely to continue it for years. Another area where walking creates powerful changes is inside the brain. Deep within the brain is a region responsible for learning and memory. This structure plays a critical role in helping you store new information, recall experiences, and maintain mental clarity as you age. Over time, especially during aging, this area naturally begins to shrink. That shrinkage is closely linked with memory decline and reduced cognitive performance. Researchers became interested in whether simple physical movement could influence this process. In one well-known study, older adults participated in a regular walking routine several times per week. After many months, brain scans revealed something remarkable. The region associated with memory had actually increased in size. This happens because walking increases blood flow to the brain while also stimulating the release of a protein that supports the growth and survival of brain cells. Think of it as nourishment for the brain's communication network. When this process becomes regular, people often experience clearer thinking, stronger memory, and improved focus. Not because they are forcing themselves to concentrate harder, but because the brain itself is functioning more efficiently. Walking also has a powerful effect on the way the body handles stress. Stress is not only an emotional experience, it is a biological response controlled by hormones and the nervous system. When the body perceives pressure or danger, it releases stress hormones that prepare you to react quickly. This response is helpful in short bursts, but when it remains elevated for long periods, it can begin to harm sleep, digestion, mood, and immune function. Walking helps reset this system. The steady rhythm of movement activates a part of the nervous system responsible for calm recovery and repair. With each step, signals are sent to the brain that the environment is stable and safe. As a result, stress hormone levels gradually decrease while the body shifts back toward a more balanced state. Another system that benefits from walking is digestion. The digestive tract relies on gentle muscle contractions to move food through the intestines. Long periods of sitting slow this process, which can lead to bloating discomfort and irregular digestion. Walking naturally stimulates these digestive movements. Even a short walk after eating can help the body move food through the system more smoothly, allowing nutrients to be absorbed more efficiently while reducing digestive discomfort. Because of this, many cultures around the world have long encouraged walking after meals. Modern physiology now explains why this simple habit works so well. Another important benefit of walking happens at a much smaller level inside the body, deep within your cells. Inside nearly every cell are tiny structures responsible for producing energy. These structures act like microscopic power plants, converting nutrients and oxygen into the fuel that keeps your body functioning throughout the day. When these energy producers become less efficient, people often feel constantly tired, even when they are getting enough sleep. Regular walking helps improve this process. Gentle, consistent movement signals the body to produce more healthy energy-producing structures while also removing older and damaged ones. Over time, this improves the body's ability to generate energy efficiently. This is one reason people who walk regularly often report a steady sense of energy during the day. Instead of relying on caffeine or sugar to stay alert, their bodies are simply producing energy more effectively. The result is a feeling of stable, sustainable energy rather than sudden spikes followed by crashes. Walking also helps improve how efficiently the body uses oxygen. Breathing may seem automatic, but the muscles responsible for breathing become stronger and more coordinated with regular movement. One of the most important of these muscles sits just below the lungs and plays a key role in drawing air deeply into the body. When you walk consistently, this breathing muscle becomes more active and more efficient. As a result, your breathing gradually becomes deeper and more controlled. The body learns how to use oxygen more effectively during everyday activities. Over time, many people notice they feel less short of breath during normal tasks, such as climbing stairs, carrying groceries, or walking longer distances. This improvement does not require extremely intense exercise. Instead, it develops through steady, repeatable movement that gradually trains the respiratory system to work more efficiently. Walking also plays an important role in maintaining healthy joints. Many people worry that walking might wear down their joints over time. In reality, the opposite is usually true. Joints depend on movement to stay healthy. When you move, the joints are gently compressed and released, which helps circulate fluid through the joint structures. This fluid acts as a natural lubricant that keeps the joints smooth and mobile. Long periods of sitting allow this lubrication process to slow down, which can lead to stiffness and discomfort. Walking regularly helps restore this natural movement pattern, keeping the joints flexible and reducing stiffness throughout the body. Because of this, walking is often recommended as one of the safest and most accessible forms of movement for people of all ages. Another benefit many people begin to notice after walking regularly is an improvement in posture. Modern life encourages a posture that the human body was never designed for. Hours spent sitting looking at phones or working at computers often cause the shoulders to round forward and the head to lean in front of the body. Over time, this posture places extra stress on the neck, upper back, and spine. Walking helps counteract this pattern. When you walk upright, your body naturally engages several important muscle groups that support proper alignment. The muscles along the back, the core, and the hips all begin working together to stabilize the spine while the body moves forward. With consistent walking, these muscles gradually become stronger and more coordinated. This helps bring the shoulders back, keeps the head more aligned with the spine, and reduces strain on the neck and back. For many people, this simple improvement in posture can lead to less stiffness and less daily discomfort. Walking also has a surprisingly strong effect on the way we think. Researchers studying creativity have noticed an interesting pattern. When people remain seated for long periods while trying to solve problems, their thinking often becomes narrow and rigid. The brain focuses intensely, but it struggles to make new connections between ideas. Walking changes that dynamic almost immediately. As you move, blood circulation improves and more oxygen reaches the brain. At the same time, areas of the brain involved in imagination and insight become more active. This combination allows the mind to shift from narrow focus into a more flexible thinking state. Many people experience this as sudden clarity or unexpected ideas appearing while they walk. Solutions that felt impossible to find while sitting at a desk suddenly become obvious during a short walk. Another benefit that develops gradually with regular walking is improved sleep quality. Healthy sleep depends heavily on the body's internal clock. This system responds strongly to daily movement and exposure to natural light. When people spend most of their day indoors and inactive, this rhythm can become disrupted, making it harder to fall asleep or stay asleep. Walking helps reset this natural rhythm. The combination of movement, fresh air, and light exposure signals the body to regulate its sleep cycle more effectively. Over time, this often leads to deeper sleep, easier sleep onset, and more refreshing rest during the night. Another powerful effect of regular walking is its ability to reduce chronic inflammation in the body. Inflammation is a natural process that helps the body respond to injury or infection. In short periods, it is protective and necessary. The problem appears when low-level inflammation remains active for long periods of time. This type of chronic inflammation has been linked to many common health problems, including heart disease, metabolic disorders, joint pain, and cognitive decline. Regular walking helps regulate this process. Gentle repeated movement improves circulation, allowing nutrients and oxygen to reach tissues more efficiently while helping the body remove metabolic waste. At the same time, consistent physical activity helps balance immune signals that influence inflammation levels. Over time, this can create a calmer internal environment where the body is less likely to remain stuck in a constant state of low-level stress and irritation. Walking also plays a crucial role in maintaining balance and preventing falls as people age. Balance is not controlled by a single part of the body. It requires constant communication between the brain, the inner ear, the eyes, and the muscles that stabilize the legs and core. When people become less active, this coordination gradually weakens. Reaction time slows, muscles become less responsive, and confidence in movement often decreases. Walking regularly keeps this system active. Each step requires small adjustments in posture, muscle engagement, and coordination. These tiny corrections train the nervous system to stay responsive and aware of body position. Over time, this helps maintain stability while standing, turning, or walking on uneven surfaces. For older adults in particular, preserving balance can significantly reduce the risk of falls and injuries that often lead to long recovery periods. Finally, one of the most meaningful benefits of walking is its role in supporting healthy aging and long-term independence. Many people focus only on how long they live, but researchers increasingly emphasize another concept called health span. Health span refers to the number of years a person remains physically capable, mentally sharp, and able to perform everyday activities without assistance. Walking supports this in several ways at the same time. It maintains leg strength, supports joint mobility, improves circulation, and keeps the brain engaged in coordinating movement and balance. When these systems continue working together, people are more likely to remain active and independent as they grow older. Rather than simply extending life, regular walking helps preserve the quality of those years. As we have seen throughout this video, walking influences many different systems inside the body. It affects how your brain functions, how your body manages blood sugar, how your heart works, how your joints move, and even how your body produces energy at the cellular level. But the most important takeaway is not that walking is a miracle solution. It is that the human body was designed to move regularly, and walking happens to be one of the simplest ways to give the body that signal. Personally, one thing I find interesting about walking is how easy it is to overlook. Because it feels so ordinary, many people assume it cannot possibly make a real difference. Yet when scientists study long-term health habits, regular walking consistently appears as one of the strongest predictors of healthy aging and long-term independence. Of course, it is important to remember that the information in this video is meant for educational purposes. Everyone's health situation is different. Walking can be a powerful habit for many people, but it should not be seen as a replacement for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. If you have existing medical conditions or physical limitations, it is always a good idea to speak with a healthcare professional before starting any new routine. What walking offers is not perfection. It offers consistency. You do not need to walk extremely fast. You do not need to chase a specific number of steps every day. What matters most is simply showing up regularly and allowing your body to adapt over time. So here is a simple challenge for the next 7 days. Just make walking part of your daily rhythm. 10 minutes, 20 minutes, or 30 minutes. The exact number is less important than the habit itself. If you are willing to try it, write your plan in the comments. Sharing it can help turn a small idea into a real commitment. And if this video helped you see walking in a new way, consider supporting the channel by liking the video and subscribing for more simple explanations about how the body works.